Hey guys, this is Jason. I'm reviewing Abigail, directed by Radio Silence, and it stars Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Alisha Weir, Kathryn Newton, and Ginocarlo Esposito. And it's about a group of criminals that kidnap a little girl, hold her for ransom against this evil crime lord that is also her father, and he's known for making some very dangerous and unhuman-like stuff, and they decide to have her for ransom just so that they can have money from him. And they keep her locked up in this mansion, but soon realize that this little girl that they have for ransom is a bloodthirsty vampire. Radio Silence, or in their real names TylerGillet and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, are known for making some pretty fun horror movies like Ready or Not, Scream 5, and 6. I haven't seen Ready or Not yet. I'm still looking for time to look for that film, but I have, however, seen movies like Scream 5 and 6, and I think they're actually really fun movies. I think they still keep the formula of the Scream films right, while also giving it their own take on the Scream franchise. And even the cast got me interested. Like, I do like Melissa Barrera, who is also in the Scream films, and Dan Stevens is one of my favorite actors of all time, and so is Ginocarlo Esposito, although it feels like Hollywood just likes to have him be the villain in every movie he's in after Breaking Bad. I watched it on Peacock recently, and this movie proves that they are once again great at making a fun horror movie. This movie is so over the top and crazy, and it's very self-aware of it, and it just has some fun with it. And if it really does bother you when you watch the film, then you might want to have a palate cleanser afterwards, because it definitely goes for some of the violence. It's kind of similar to Evil Dead in regards to the violence, even though this film is not as bloody as Evil Dead, but it is a little close, especially when this movie uses the violence for its humor. And most of this film takes place in one location where you just see the characters go around this mansion and trying to figure out what's going on with Abigail and why they're all stuck in this situation, which does bring some pretty dark and fun moments in the film. And it also gets the characters to wonder why they are all in this mansion and why they're all stuck together, which this film does have some secrets, no spoilers, that do get unraveled later on, which also gets both the characters and the audience to try to wonder what is going on behind the scenes of this plan that they have themselves in, especially when you look at the characters in the film, because they don't reveal a lot about themselves. They don't even use their real names. They have to go with their fake alias names. Now, you don't learn a whole lot about these characters in the first 30 minutes, but as the film progresses, you do get a little bit of who these characters are throughout the story. And once you do learn about some of their backstories, you do get to understand where they're coming from and why they are the way they are. Like Melissa Barrera's character Joey, or at least just her alias Joey, is missing her son. She's not seen him a whole lot because she's stuck with her job as a criminal, making her feel bad that she's not there for her son all the time. And you do get to feel some sympathy for her, and you do get to understand why she got herself into this criminal job. And Melissa Barrera gives a really good performance as the character. In fact, everyone else in the acting does a great job as well, like Dan Stevens as Frank, who is also a jerk to everyone around him, and you do get to understand more of why he's like that, and you do get to understand some more stuff about him under the surface, which, again, no spoilers. And it's honestly great seeing Dan Stevens in another movie like this, whether he's in a horror film or in a thriller like The Guest. He is really good in those type of films. And Alisha Weir was really good as Abigail. She starts out as a innocent little girl when she needs to be, but when they find out that she's a vampire, she starts to unleash her range as a vampire. And since the character is also a ballet dancer, she does some interesting kills while she's doing ballet, elevating more of the horror and the comedy. And since this movie is made by the guys that did 2 Scream films, this movie does have a good balance of horror and comedy, making this feel more like a horror/comedy film. And trying to do that is kind of hard to do. Trying to mix both horror and comedy doesn't always mix well with horror films, but with a movie like this, or with some of Jordan Peele's other thriller films, those intend to work very well. And with Shaun of the Dead as well. That one also has a good balance of horror, comedy, and some serious stuff as well. This also has some moments that are supposed to be horrific and very brutal, like I'll just say that, but the way this movie uses it and the way it times it definitely makes it work for the comedy. And like I said before, this movie does blend well with the horror and the comedy, and it's very self-aware and over the top and just has some fun with it, and it's pretty entertaining to watch. Not all the time though, there are times where it can get a little too goofy even for its own type of humor. Again, no spoilers, but there's a moment that happens in the third act that's supposed to be like that. It's a moment where a character goes through a big moment and two other characters have to work together to deal with another big problem, where it just felt like the main focus of the film kind of faded into the background for something new that just happened. And there were also a few false jump scares that didn't work for me. Some of the ones in this film felt more like a gimmick, like they were just there to build up some of the horror but didn't really do anything. And that doesn't always work for me when you have a false jump scare, because that's not really scary. It's just a lousy gimmick with a sound effect in the background. Even though this movie didn't have much of that, it only happens like 2 times, but I would have been okay with it not having any of those 2 false jump scares. Abigail is a very fun horror comedy film where it does have some cheap jump scares that don't really work, and the third act can feel like a different movie, but it has a very engaging story, it has developed characters, it's funny, it's very engaging, it takes place in one location, and it's just a blast to watch either in theaters or at home. And I do recommend watching this on Peacock if you're a horror fan and if you have Peacock. It's definitely worth watching, especially if you're a fan of both horror films, vampires, and some of Radio Silence's work. I'm gonna give Abigail an A-. So guys, if you did watch Abigail either in theaters or at home on Peacock, what did you think about it? Do you think it's a fun film, or do you think that this film didn't really work for you? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for some more reviews coming very soon for newer films and some more classic reviews coming very soon. I have a few reviews planned for my classic movie reviews, and I can't wait to make those videos for you guys. And as always, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you know what other videos I'm posting. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.